Good evening. It's Monday, December 20th, and here are today's top stories from around Metro Atlanta.
Our first story is about parents wanting answers after a second grade teacher is arrested for a sex crime. Reporter Sierra Cummings has the details.
That's right. The teacher worked here at Lyerly Elementary. We learned that he was a second grade teacher this year, but the year before, a special needs teacher. Understandably, families are concerned, and they said even back then they had concerns. But the district maintains that all of the complaints they investigated were never related to sexual misconduct. Now, Jeremy Bowman faces child pornography and exploitation charges. This weekend, he was arrested as a result of Operation Safe Christmas, a sting in which investigators allege every person arrested, 6 men total, believed they were traveling to meet a child for a sex act. Detectives explained in some cases the men shared nude images, even requesting the child to take their own pictures. Bowman was a teacher in the Chattooga School District, where we found September complaints of him roughly grabbing children, in one case scratching a child, and another allegations of pulling a child's hair. The district announced today in an emergency meeting they previously investigated these disciplinary complaints, but there wasn't enough for criminal charges. Meanwhile, Lyerly Elementary parents are angry, saying the previous concerns should have led to his immediate termination back in September instead of him being able to resign today.
She was one that got left a bruise from his fingernails being dug into her skin. So we realized this was real. This wasn't just the kids saying we don't like him for this reason, we want him gone. They were actually saying that he was abusing them. The only thing they offered was counseling. And I'm like, we don't need counseling, we need him fired. And they didn't do anything.
And the district told me today back in September they did an internal investigation and issued a write-up. But when I asked about why they let him resign instead of a termination today, they said it was at the advice upon legal counsel. We've got the full story coming up here at 9 and 11. Live in Lyerly, I'm Sierra Cummings, CBS 46 News.
Thank you, Sierra. We have breaking news just in from the CDC. The agency says that the Omicron variant of COVID is now the dominant strain of the virus.
The news sparking major concern just days before Christmas. Omicron now morphing into the biggest threat. The contagious strain has now been detected in all but 5 states.
Meanwhile, the U.S. is now averaging more than 156,000 cases every day. That's nearly double since the start of November. CBS 46's Haley Mason is live tonight with how Georgia is responding to this surge. Haley.
Good evening, Rick. We are live at the Viral Solutions COVID testing and vaccination site in Decatur, and they actually close at 6 o'clock. But if you take a look behind me, you will see cars still filing in from the streets and wrapping around this building, trying to get either a COVID test or a vaccine. The team leaders at Viral Solutions tell me they have seen a major increase of people getting tested and seeking vaccines just in the last 2 weeks since the Omicron variant took surge. We've gone to several sites and seen lines for COVID tests out the door and down the streets.
So we're getting our kids vaccinated.
So we can go to Paris.
Some people telling us they're trying to get a test to travel out of the country for the holidays. Others say they just want to make sure they're COVID-free before visiting family. Dr. Lamar Cochran is vice president of Viral Solutions Atlanta, where he helps run 10 local COVID testing and vaccination sites. He says since the Omicron variant has started to spread in the last couple weeks, they've seen an exponential increase of clients, more than the expected holiday surge.
Testing has increased by about 300% over the past 2 weeks. Even our vaccination rates has increased by about 30%. We expect this again with the holidays and going into winter, but there's basically been a lot more. I think a lot of this has to do with the new variant.
The Viral Solutions teams are working to increase staff and get more tests turned around in 24 hours. Cochran says they're seeing between 3,000 to 4,000 people a day.
It was surprising that we're in this stage now, being almost 2 years out. I think a lot of that has to do with still low rates of vaccination, especially in Georgia as well. The vaccine, what it's going to do is it's going to prevent you from getting really sick.
Today, Governor Kemp says he's been watching the COVID numbers closely and seeing hospitalizations rise. He says he's been in contact with at least one area hospital CEO.
You know, I'm hoping this variant, even though it's spreading very quickly, which is worrisome because a lot of people are catching it very fast, but it doesn't seem to be as potent as Delta. but that's just the early indicator. So we are literally following this 24/7.
Kemp says he doesn't plan to instate any mask mandates at this point. Meanwhile, Cochran and his colleagues are working 7 days a week, encouraging testing and the vaccine. And the Viral Solutions doctors are encouraging everyone behind me to get the vaccine and booster shot, especially if you're eligible, so that you can have a stronger immune response and a more mild illness if you are exposed to the Omicron variant. Again, they are open 7 days a week, and these tests and vaccines are free. Reporting live in Decatur, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.
46 crime alert now, and police are investigating a shooting on Westlake Avenue that left one male dead. CBS 46's Jamie Kennedy live at the scene. And Jamie, you spoke with the homeowner. What did he tell you?
Rick, well, he told me everyone very shaken up by this whole ordeal. It's the house behind me where it happened, and he said it was an intruder trying to get into the house who was shot.
We don't do nothing but charity events, toy drives, and feed the homeless.
A homeowner is in shock after he says a man tried to break into his home and was shot.
He tried to break in through the side door, and he caught the wrong end on.
The homeowner didn't want to have his face shown, but says there were 3 people home at the time. They heard a loud banging on the side door at around 10 a.m. this morning at the Westlake Avenue home. The homeowner's brother was one of the 3. He says his brother confronted the man and then shot him.
It's good that he all right, but it's sad that he had to take somebody else's life.
Police say they are working through the timeline of events.
I can confirm that there is a male decedent that's approximately in his 20s, but we're still in the early stages of the investigation.
A neighbour says there are a couple of puppies at the house that are worth a decent amount of money and could have been what the person was after. The homeowner says the family is trying to rally around each other and support one another through this traumatic experience.
But my brother had to probably go through therapy and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? For grieving, that stuff real.
Now, when I was speaking to the homeowner, I asked him if he ever had any trouble at his house before. He said in the summertime he did have his car stolen from his house, but otherwise he's never had any trouble the whole time he's lived here. Live in West Atlanta, Jamie Kennedy, CBS 46 News.
Accident scene turned into a scary situation for many drivers. Video right here shows the moment 2 people pulled out guns on I-20. CBS 46's Yasmina Olsen explains what police are now investigating.
Watch this video. You can see several cars stopped in the middle of I-20 in DeKalb County. 2 men are on either side of the gray pickup truck, each of them with guns. In the social media video posted by ATL Uncensored and viewed thousands of times, you see the men pointing their guns at the driver and passenger of the gray truck. You can see others walking nearby the scene. DeKalb County police say it happened Friday afternoon. Officers responded for a car accident call on I-20 East just past Panola Road. But because of the guns, investigators are also looking into the incident as an assault case. No one has been arrested or was hurt.
Just be courteous as you can. Do not incite the person and do not stimulate their anger.
DeKalb police haven't confirmed if this incident was road rage related, but angry incidents on Metro Atlanta roads are nothing new. Experts and those in law enforcement say there are ways to avoid getting involved. Stay in your lane, don't speed, don't follow too closely, and that should reduce your risk of intense interactions with other drivers.
If that person drives by you, don't catch back up with them. Stay behind them.
And police say pull over if you have to. Go to a nearby gas station or place with cameras and then call 911. Yasmina Alston for CBS 46 News.
Yes.
Governor Kemp teaming up with farmers and the Department of Agriculture to help get more food on tables across the state. Today, the governor announced a new program that will link excess crops from farms to food banks. This will help cut down on food waste and help the food reach tables of those who are most in need. Last year, Georgia's 8 Feeding America food banks distributed more than 170 million meals.
Developing. We have now received newly released 911 calls following the moment a gun was fired inside Atlanta's airport. That shooting sparked chaos and panic as travelers ran through the area looking for safety. CBS 46's Trayson Bragg has the very latest.
We were told to run in the dirt bridge because somebody has a gun.
On November 20th, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport was sent into an uproar as passengers and employees alike panicked after gunfire. The terrifying moments captured on 911 calls.
I'm a flight attendant. I'm on board a United flight from Atlanta to Houston. I have passengers just ran down the jet bridge trying to get on the plane saying that there's a shooter.
Investigators later learned the incident was not an active shooter, but rather an accidental gun discharge. They say this man, Kenny Wells, was at the main TSA checkpoint when a TSA officer noticed a gun in his bag. The officer told Wells to step away from the bag. Investigators say instead he lunged for it, causing the gun to fire before fleeing with the firearm.
Everyone's just running. Literally, everyone came out of security just running.
Countless calls flooded the airport's 911 call center.
Everybody's coming this way towards me talking about gunfire. I see a police officer. He has his gun out. I guess I'm supposed to get in. I don't know.
The melee even spilled out to airport roads and parking garages.
They're shooting in here, honey.
Okay. Do you have a description of the person that did?
No, everybody been running. Everybody outside.
Luckily, no one was wounded, but the call center received several reports of passengers suffering from minor injuries.
There's a child who's injured on Tango 7.
Okay. It's a child that needs assistance?
Yes, we're going to need an ambulance.
Investigators say Wells remained on the run for just over a week before turning himself in. He's facing charges including carrying a weapon or long gun at a commercial service airport, discharging of a firearm on property of another, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Wells was denied bond. His next hearing is scheduled for January 10th. Reporting at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, I'm Trace Bragg, CBS 46 News.
We are remembering the life and legacy of former Georgia Senator Johnny Isaacson, who died Sunday at the age of 76. Isaacson is remembered for his decades-long commitment to public service and collaboration. Shortly after the news of Isaacson's passing, Georgia's current senators paid tribute. Senator John Ossoff remembered Isaacson for putting his state and his country ahead of self and party. And Senator Raphael Warnock said he worked across the aisle to get things done. Georgia's 12th District Representative Rick Allen worked alongside Isaacson during Isaacson's last few years in office.
His ability to communicate the problem, particularly to the folks on the other side of the aisle, and to work towards solutions was, unfortunately, that's a disappearing act in Congress these days.
Isaacson was a former real estate executive who served 17 years in the State House in Atlanta. He ran unsuccessfully for governor in 1990 before beginning his congressional career in 1999. Isaacson was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2015, and citing health concerns, he resigned at the end of 2019.
With just a few days left in office, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms is sharing her thoughts on her time as the city's leader. Today, she held a news conference where she looked back at her time in office and also shared what's next for her in her future.
So I'm going to take some time over the holidays and give some serious thought to all that's before me. I'm very, very fortunate in that I have some extraordinary opportunities that have been presented. And now I have to figure out what's best for me and for my family.
Mayor Bottoms also said she hopes that incoming Mayor Andre Dickens will set his own tone as mayor and that he will lead the city to success. She endorsed him during his campaign. Mayor-elect Dickens will be sworn into office on January 3rd.
COVID-19
showed up a little early for hundreds of students in the metro today.
They got a big surprise from an even bigger Santa Claus. Take a look at him. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal surprising students at Wesley Lakes Elementary School, and he did not come empty-handed. Shaq-a-Claus, as he called himself, brought toys, clothing, backpacks, and even $100 Walmart gift cards for students and their families. Shaq is encouraging other celebrities and athletes to get involved.
My goal is to all these big time people, just each big time person, just take care of your area. Take care of your area on important days.
Shaq also said he has a goal to create a national Shaq-a-Claus program to help children across the nation. Caught on camera, some incredible video showing a teenager desperately trying to protect her family dog from an attack. That 19-year-old screaming for help when an Amazon driver stepped in, held that dog off so the teenager could get inside. Now those two women are uniting and telling the story about what happened. Lauren Martinez from our sister station in Las Vegas explains.
This is actually your package. I was coming to deliver it right now.
And this is, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. It's no problem. I'm so glad I was here.
Michael Ray and his daughter Lauren are thanking the Amazon delivery driver, Stephanie Lantz, that saved the day. On Monday, a Ring doorbell camera captured 19-year-old Lauren holding the family dog Max in her arms, trying to swat away an aggressive dog. Lauren screamed for help, and Lantz came swooping in. Lantz put herself in front of the dog, allowing Lauren and Max to get inside safely.
The screams made me think of my own child. I would only hope that somebody would jump in and help her if she was in a similar situation. I wouldn't even think it's motherly, just it's the human thing to do.
Lantz said delivery drivers go through so much we don't see captured on camera.
You're a bad dog! 2 days prior, I had been bit by a dog. 2 days before that, I had saved a baby that wasn't even 2 years old yet, locked in a house. I mean, we really do go through a lot, and we're there when other people aren't, and sometimes it's not even recognized. I have a coworker who put out a fire in a backyard the other day. It's just, we are really there sometimes when nobody's there.
To show their appreciation, members from Amazon and 702 Logistics, the local courier company contracted by Amazon, surprised Lantz and her family.
We got you guys 4 tickets to the Enchanted Christmas at the Las Vegas Ballpark.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
Everyone wanted to tell Lantz she was amazing, even Max, and no one could forget her classic line at the end of the video.
You're a bad dog!
All right, now 3, say bad dog.
Bad dog!
Bad dog!
Thanks for watching CBS 46 News. Watch us live wherever you are, our mobile and our streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.